Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. This is Coach Mario from Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy in Miami, Florida. This is another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Good morning, people. It's a beautiful day here in Miami, Florida. Nice breezy day, kind of humid, but I'm enjoying outside. It's a nice Sunday afternoon here in Miami. I'm taking a little break here and from Sunday chores here around the house, and basically are going to talk a little bit about last night's fight between David Benavidez and David Lemieux. David versus David. David versus David. One looked like Goliath, actually. One looked like Goliath, and that was David Benavidez. Wow, what a fight. What a display of talent this guy has. I called it, guys. I said, I predicted that David Benavidez was going to knock out David Lemieux in less than 8 rounds. I guess he took half of that, less than half of that, to convince everybody that he's a real threat. He's the real deal. David Benavidez. He's only 25 years old, guys. He's got 24 fights, 23 knockouts. Wow. 23 knockouts. Actually, 26 fights and 23 knockouts. He's undefeated. That is unbelievable for a person at so young as him to have the experience he has achieved. This kid is a real deal. Like I said, he is a superstar in the making. He's like a few steps away from becoming one of the top pound for pound fighters out there. All right, if he's not there already, he should be in the top 10. This guy is a real deal. He got one of the many title belts from the WBC. To be honest with you guys, I don't know how to follow this anymore. It's crazy. All the belts. I mean, WBC gives belts like M&Ms for kids in the school. You know, it's unbelievable how corrupt this organization is, and how they just want to give belts away. You know, participation trophies in order to make money out of their so-called champions. But David Benavidez is the real deal. He beat seasoned David Lemieux handily yesterday, knocked him down in the second round, and the fight was stopped by the corner on the third round. Just like I predicted, he went to the body and then upstairs. David Lemieux took a lot of punishment. I give props to David Lemieux. He took the punches, kept on coming. He's a tough warrior, seasoned veteran with extreme power. However, I think that the days are numbered for David Lemieux after this fight. I don't know if he wants to continue fighting. That in my opinion, is not going to be good for his health. He should walk away. He's achieved a lot in boxing. He was a tough opponent. He became a champion at one time. He held one of the belts, one of these organizations a while back. So, but anyway, great performance by David Benavidez. Wow. I mean, this is the thing. When I watch a fight, I look at the technical skills of a fighter. I look at his defense. I look at his footwork. I look at as his punch combinations. I look at his boxing IQ. I look at, how he knows the geography of the ring and can move around the ring. I mean, the versatility of the fighter, how aggressive he is. I look at all these things, all right? And that's one of the things that I tell my guys, my students at Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. And we train in footwork. We run a whole bunch of drills on defense, passive and active defense, and those are things that I actually look for in a fighter. and in order for me to determine whether he passes the eye test or not, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong about a fighter. In this case, I've been on a roll. I've been on a roll for the last 3-4 fights. I've actually predicted every outcome on the last 4 fights that I've mentioned here on my YouTube channel. But anyway, David Benavidez. What's next for David Benavidez? All right, he had a post-fight conference, and where he and his team gave thanks to the crowd in Arizona. He's a native from Arizona, and you know, he was really happy to fight there. He looks like a mature man. He's very eloquent. He looks like a well schooled individual. You know, very great with his choice of words there, and praises for David Lemieux. Good sportsmanship on his part. But the people there, the reporters were asking several questions, and that's what we're going to address today. All right, what's next for Benavidez? There's so many options, guys. There's a whole bunch of options out there for David Benavidez. So any of these things could happen, but we're gonna go into each one of them, and I'd like you to please comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. Let me know what you believe next steps, or what David Benavidez and his crew and his management team and his dad would actually take as an opponent or opponents for the next few fights. All right, I don't know who. I don't know if he fights for PBC or who he fights for. I would have to find out exactly what his contract it looks like. But David Benavidez has the world in front of him. All right, so many options for him. What a great victory for him last night. Okay, so the options, and we're gonna go not in order of importance, but I'm just gonna call out the different options that he has, and we're gonna go over them and see what the possibility of each one of these is. All right, so option number 1, Canelo Alvarez. Scratch that off. Canelo doesn't want any part of David Benavidez. Believe me, he wants no part of this huge Mexican monster. This guy's the real deal. He's a real Mexican monster. He can fight on the inside, he can fight on the outside. He's got power. Wow. Canelo, he will destroy Canelo. I think he would knock out Canelo. He would totally embarrass him, and that's the reason why Canelo will not face him and give all these kinds of excuses not to face Benavidez. You know, he always has an excuse to fight a tough opponent, one that he and his team, you know, seem that it's a danger for him and his career and his future, and the money-making machine that he is. You know, the golden goose of the different organizations, the golden goose of the media, the golden goose of the Canelo fanboys. All of these people that are supporting him, you know, as the number 1 pound for pound. He's no longer number 1 pound for pound. He was totally outperformed, outclassed. He was exposed out there with Bevo. All right, but we already spoke about that. So Canelo, let's scratch that off the list. Canelo wants no part of Benavidez. Hopefully, and this is what the organizations, this is where sometimes I am surprised, but organizations like the WBC should have Benavidez as the mandatory, and that's the person that Canelo should fight next. But I don't think Canelo's going to take that fight. We'll see what happens, all right? And we already spoke about what's next for Canelo after his defeat. I'm not going to go into that anymore, all right? Choice number 2, and this not in order of importance. I'm just going by my list here, is Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, who comes off a defeat by Canelo Alvarez. He was knocked out. Caleb Plant, he's 29 years old. He has 21 fights. He has 12 knockouts. He's lost one fight. All right, Caleb Plant. That's another option. Okay, Billy Joe Saunders, another option. All right. Um, Billy Joe Saunders got 30 fights, one defeat, 14 knockouts. He's coming off an eye injury, also a defeat against Canelo Alvarez. Canelo broke his orbital bone, fractured his orbital bone in his last fight. The guy quit in the corner. Remember Ugas fighting with a broken orbital bone, going all the way to the end till the fight was stopped. So, you know, that's the difference between courage, the courage of a fighter, and what he actually can demonstrate inside the ring. All right. Basically, this guy has had that question mark, you know, the gypsy courage, that question mark, that asterisk next to his last fight, Billy Joe Saunders, when he quit on his stool, when he didn't want to go out again and face Canelo. All right, so that's the other option. Now, next option I got here, Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo. He's a WBC middleweight champion. He's 32 years old. American Jermall Charlo. 32-0 with 22 knockouts. He's a 160-pound champion. So I don't see, going back to Billy Joe, I don't see him fighting because of that eye injury. I don't see him facing Benavidez. So I'm going to scratch that off the list. So we got Canelo scratched off the list. We got Billy Joe Saunders scratched off the list. Caleb Plant is a good option for him. If Caleb Plant wants to redeem himself and fight Benavidez, I would love to see that one. That one would be a good one. But Jermall Charlo doesn't want any part of Benavidez either, man. You know, he's talking about, 2023, we're going to fight. Come on. 2023, do it now. You're the champion. You're a badass like you say you are. I mean, and his record demonstrates he's got a lot of skills, but this guy's at another level, guys. He would knock out Jermall Charlo, in my opinion. And I'm predicting that now. Maybe I'm too enthused to what I saw last night. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Jermall Charlo wants no part of David Benavidez. All right, so let's scratch Bernard Charlo off the list also. All right, out of there. Now, the other option that he has at that same weight class is this unknown kid, fairly unknown. He goes by the name of David Morrell, or David Morrell, Osvaldo David Morrell Gutierrez, de Santa Clara, Cuba. This kid is a Cuban fighter, southpaw, unorthodox fighter, comes from the Cuban School of Boxing. He's only 24 years old. He's 6'1", and he's a WBC super middleweight title holder. How does that work? 6 fights, 5 knockouts. How can somebody be a champion with so little fights? I mean, I still don't get kids getting title shots with only 1, 2, 3, 4 fights. It does not make any sense. They haven't earned it. That's disrespect for everybody else that is coming up the ranks. Just because you have a great boxing amateur pedigree and record and gold medals does not entitle you to a championship fight. Get online, man. They should get online. This kid is a champion. I mean, he's a belt holder. I've seen some of his fights, really highlights. I haven't seen any of his fights. He's a southpaw fighter, tall kid. I believe he's like 6 feet tall, 6'1", something like that. And he looks very disorganized as a fighter. Not such a good defense, you know, kind of wild throwing punches. And I guess he gets away with that with the opposition he's been facing. You can get away with stuff like that when you're fighting C-level opponents, all right, in order to boost his record. I don't know who he beat in order to get the title, but I'll find out. But anyway, David Benavidez camp, his promoter was talking about him fighting David Benavidez fighting either Caleb Plant or David Morrell. So we'll leave them on the list. We got those two guys, Caleb Plant, David Morrell, coming up in September or November, I believe they said, this year. So David Benavidez, we're going to see him again. It's going to be great seeing him again. It's going to be great seeing his hand speed, his great creative combination making there. You know, he doesn't just throw your 1-2 and your hooks, you know, opposing hooks. I mean, this guy is very creative in his combinations, and I love it, man. And that is what boxers should be. You shouldn't be predictable. You should be able to surprise your opponent with combinations that he's not expecting. This guy is unbelievable. I mean, I really like David Benavidez. You can tell. I really enjoyed the fight last night. All right, so what other options does David Benavidez has? He has the option. All right, he has the option, and I believe this year he's going to fight either one of these guys, Morrell or Caleb Plant. If he doesn't fight any of those guys, if nobody wants to fight him, which it seems nobody wants to fight this guy, and I wonder why. You wonder why nobody wants to fight this guy. And he said it yesterday at the post-fight interview there in the ring. He said, none of these B word. I'm not so much into cussing, guys. So none of these B's want to face me. So and I agree. None of those guys want to face him. They don't want to jeopardize their career. They don't want to be totally humiliated by Benavidez. And that's a big possibility. All right. Well, when you're a champion and you believe you are a champion and you think you're a badass, you take challenges, guys. You go up there and you show the world. All right. And that's what daring to be great is all about. Not what Canelo did. All right. That's not daring to be great. He just thought Bebo was a low-hanging fruit. And he was surprised. And it showed basically how overhyped, overrated, and what the marketing and the media can do for a person may make him look invincible when he is not. Okay, so what is his other option is to go up in weight, 175 pounds, and he's got a crap load of opportunities there and options. He has B-Ball, all right? B-Ball is one opportunity there. Then he has Joe Smith, Zurdo Ramirez, or better BF. So depending on what happens between all those guys, we will know where Benavidez is going to be moving, what options he has in that area. I would think the two options for him at that weight class would be either Zurdo Ramirez right off the bat or Joe Smith, because I believe Zurdo, he's available. I don't think he has any upcoming fights. And then we have also Joe Smith, who I believe will lose against better VF. You know, that might surprise me. He wins. Joe Smith is a strong, powerful guy, but better VF is a wall. That guy's unbelievable. He's so strong. So those are a couple of options depending on the outcome of these guys, their next fights. And let's see what happens. You know, like I said, the future is bright for David Benavidez. The future is very bright for David. So anyway, guys, you know, I called it again. You know, don't want to brag too much, but yeah, I've been on a roll lately. You know, I know David Benavidez was the favorite, and I mean, I know a lot of people chose him to win, so that's not a biggie. All right, but anyway, guys, from Miami, Florida, this is Coach Mario. We will be talking very, very, very soon. After the upcoming fights, I will be making some more episodes soon about about sport of boxing itself, and I will have other type of subjects that I will cover. Please comment on the links below. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can hit me up on Instagram, Coach Mario 57 at Instagram. You can like my Facebook page, Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, or you can IM me, through Facebook, or just contact me directly through my email. You can go to our website also, which is WPBA305.com, WPBA305.com, Warriors Pride Boxing Academy in Miami, Florida. Guys, from Miami, Florida, this is Coach Mario. Wishing you a great Sunday, relaxing Sunday, church Sunday, day of the Lord. And I'll hope to see you guys soon. Talk to you guys soon. From Miami, Florida again, this is Coach Mario from Inside the Ropes saying peace and God bless.